Hello YouTube. It is right now January 6, 2021. I know I've been off for a couple days, but I just needed a few days off. So there's no update for any recent events, except for this one will be about what had happened on January 5th, yesterday. And this is one of the most heinous acts that ever rocked everyone's mind, and this is definitely going to be remembered for the rest of our lives, because it's something that we're definitely have not expected to happen at a time like this. Over in DC, what had happened was Trump supporters had stormed the Capitol Hill over the election of presidency of Donald Trump and Joe Biden. And what went down is that Trump supporters had stormed Capitol Hill, and it was an unsettling act that has caused a lot of hysteria over in DC. And so far, on that day, it was really, honestly, I just felt in shock to what had happened over in DC. And already checked up upon the news that a woman had died from being shot, and apparently she's a resident of San Diego, and apparently from other sources, apparently 3 other people have died, and so far I haven't checked up on their IDs to see if they were also from California or any other state. But yeah, today was just really one of those heinous acts that I've ever seen happen on American soil. Besides other events that have happened here in the United States over the years, this one's one that really rocked a lot of us. And already during the time while the protesters were on Capitol Hill, Trump had called them out to tell them to go home, and the National Guard had been deployed, at least over 1,000 members of the National Guard to show up to stop the protesters. And honestly, like my thoughts on what had happened today, well, after reading a number of the people, one calling it like just completely devastating, another calling it treason. Well, they took my word out of it, treason, but you know what? I'd say this kind of act is completely unpatriotic. This is not patriotism. Not at all. And honestly, I had a conversation. Well, no, I didn't have a conversation. I had read a conversation where someone was questioning, where had my country gone? And honestly, like, that question has been on my mind since that protest in DC had happened. Like, that question still lingers in my head right now. Where had my country gone? And honestly, I just I just can't believe, like, this had to happen, and I I'm just completely dumbfounded. I'm completely disappointed. This is not an act of patriotism, and this is not how patriots would act. This is not how Americans should act. Honestly, I get it. You know, I get it. They're upset. They're completely upset over the apparent loss of Donald Trump, of his presidency, and that Biden may be sworn as the new president. I get it, but this kind of act just isn't how it's supposed to turn out to be. No one, nobody should ever commit this kind of act on American soil. Like, I mean, if I had voted for someone who's running for president in the later future elections, I would not pull off this sort of act if the person I'm voting for had lost the election. And all I ever can do is just let people decide who they want to vote for, and we'll see how the election will turn out. This sort of act, it disappoints me, and I rather want all of us to come together instead of having to have like a civil war wage out in this form. It's completely disappointing. But other than that, yeah, these are my thoughts I wanted to lay out for what happened on January 5th. But anyways, I'll keep you an update on futuristic events that will come up over the course of the start of this year. Honestly, I'm really hoping that there'd be peace in the next coming days or so. But I can't tell what'll happen in the next coming days or next coming months or so. We'll just have to find out. But in the meantime, I'll keep in touch.